My name is Lily. I am 25 years old. I want to tell you my story. It is a sad story, but it is also a story about hope. I got married when I was 18. I was very young. My husband was Michael. He was 28 years old. Michael was very rich and had a big company. People called him a CEO. I loved Michael very much. I believed he loved me too. At that time, I trusted him completely and never thought my life would change in such a painful way. We had a beautiful wedding. Many people came to celebrate with us. Everyone was smiling and happy. I wore a white dress that looked very pretty, and Michael wore a black suit and looked very handsome. That day felt perfect. I felt like I was the happiest person in the world. It was the best day of my life, and I believed that my future would also be full of love and happiness. After the wedding, everything slowly started to change. Michael left me soon after. He went to another city and told me it was for work. He said his job was very important and that he needed to focus on it. He left me alone in his big house. The house was beautiful and had many rooms. It had a large garden and many expensive things, but it felt empty without him. Days passed and then weeks passed. After that, months went by. Michael did not call me. He did not send messages. He did not come back to visit me even once. I waited for him every single day. I looked at the door, hoping he would walk in. I looked at the phone, hoping it would ring, but nothing ever happened. Many nights I cried quietly in my bed. The house was too silent. I walked through the empty rooms and felt like I was living in a place without life. I ate alone every day. I slept alone every night. Sometimes I talked to myself just to feel less lonely. The house felt cold and lifeless around me. 1 year passed and he did not return. Then 2 years passed and still nothing changed. 3 years passed and my life stayed the same. 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and then 7 years passed. 7 long years of waiting, hoping, and living in silence without knowing the truth. I lived alone in that big house for 7 years. During that time, people in the town started talking about me. They said many things that hurt me deeply. They said Michael had other women. They said he forgot about me. Some people even gave me a name. They called me the invisible wife. That name hurt me more than anything else. It made me feel like I did not exist. I felt small, weak, and completely forgotten by the world around me. Michael's mother visited me sometimes. She was kind and always tried to comfort me. She told me to wait and said that Michael would come back one day. I wanted to believe her words. I tried very hard to stay hopeful. I worked on myself during those years. I read books, learned new skills, and improved my cooking. Every morning I exercised and tried to stay strong. I believed that maybe if I became better, Michael would notice me and return home. But nothing changed. The phone never rang. The door never opened. Every birthday and every holiday passed in complete loneliness. Many times I thought about leaving. I wanted to start a new life somewhere else. But I stayed because I was still holding on to hope. I felt like a bird trapped in a cage. I wanted to be free, but I did not know how to leave. I kept waiting, even when it hurt me deeply. Sometimes I looked at myself in the mirror. I did not recognize the woman I saw. She looked tired, sad, and older than her age. I was still young, but my eyes had lost their light. Over time, I stopped crying. There were no tears left inside me. Instead, I became quiet and strong. I learned how to live alone. I accepted my life as it was and stopped expecting anything to change. Each day became the same. I woke up, cleaned the house, cooked my food, read books, and went to sleep. Life became a routine without emotions. Then one day, everything changed again. A black car arrived at the house. I recognized it immediately. It was Michael's car. I did not feel excited when I saw the car. I did not feel nervous either. After 7 years of waiting, my heart had become calm and empty. I simply stood there and watched quietly. Michael stepped out of the car. He looked the same as before. He was tall and serious. His face showed no emotion. He walked to the door like nothing had happened. He opened the door with his key and entered the house. After 7 long years, he was finally back. But there was no warmth in his return. He did not say hello. He did not apologize. He did not explain anything. He just looked at me as if I were a stranger. His eyes were cold. There was no love in them. He spoke in a flat voice and told me that I was still his wife and that I should behave properly. Those words did not make me sad. They made me angry. The old Lily was gone. I was no longer the quiet girl who waited for him. I stood strong and looked directly at him. I told him clearly that I was not his servant. My voice was steady, and I was not afraid anymore. Michael looked surprised. He did not expect this reaction. He studied my face and realized that I had changed. He said I was different. I told him that I had changed a lot during those 7 years. I was no longer the same person he left behind. Michael stayed in the house after that. He began watching me closely every day. It felt strange because he had never paid attention to me before. He started asking questions about my life. He wanted to know what I did, how I lived, and what had changed in me. He also brought gifts for me. They were expensive dresses, jewelry, and money, but I refused to accept them. I did not want his gifts. I did not want his money. I wanted something he had never given me before. I wanted respect and real love. One day, he told me that I belonged to him. I looked at him and calmly said that he should prove it. He did not respond to my words. Instead, he started taking me to his work parties and public events. At those parties, he introduced me as his wife. He smiled in front of others and acted like everything was normal. But at home, he remained cold and distant. He barely spoke to me. He treated me like a stranger living in his house. I felt confused. I did not understand his behavior. I kept asking myself why he came back after so many years. One evening, everything became clear. Michael brought a woman home. Her name was Megan. She was very beautiful and confident. She walked toward him without hesitation. Then she kissed him right in front of me. It was not a short kiss. It was long and bold. Michael did not stop her. He allowed it to happen. At that moment, my heart broke again. The pain was sharp and real, just like before. I looked at him and asked if he loved her. My voice was calm, but my heart was heavy. He replied that it was not my business. He told me not to ask such questions. That answer gave me clarity. I finally understood everything. I went to my room quietly. I started packing my bags. I packed my clothes and everything that belonged to me. I decided to leave that night. I would not wait anymore. I would not suffer anymore. Before leaving, I went to his office. I had never entered that room before. It was his private space. But this time, I did not care. I wanted answers. I looked around the room carefully. Then I noticed a safe hidden behind a picture on the wall. I searched his desk and found a key. My hands were shaking as I opened the safe. Inside, there were many important papers. One document caught my attention immediately. It was titled Marriage Agreement. I picked it up and started reading slowly. My body trembled as I read each word. The document revealed the truth. Michael's father had made a deal. Michael was required to marry and stay married for 7 years. After that, he would receive a major share of the company. 7 years. Exactly 7 years. At that moment, everything became clear. Michael did not marry me for love. He married me for business. I was part of a deal. I was never a real wife to him. I was just a condition in a contract. The truth hurt more than anything else. Those 7 years of waiting and pain suddenly felt meaningless. I closed the safe slowly. I held my bags tightly. Then I walked out of that house. I did not look back even once. I stepped out of the house and felt something I had not felt in years. I felt free. The air felt different and my heart felt lighter, even though it still carried pain. I called a taxi and left that place behind. I did not know exactly where I was going, but I knew I could not stay there anymore. I moved into a small apartment. It was simple and not expensive, but it was mine. For the first time, I felt like I had control over my own life. The next day, I went to a lawyer. I explained everything and signed the divorce papers. It was not easy, but it was necessary for me to move forward. The lawyer said he would send the papers to Michael. I felt nervous, but also strong. I was finally choosing myself. Michael tried to contact me many times. He called again and again, but I did not answer any of his calls. One day, he came to my apartment. He stood outside and knocked on my door. I opened the door and looked at him calmly. I did not feel fear anymore. He asked me why I left. He asked me about the divorce. He wanted answers. I told him he already knew the truth. I told him he had used me and lied to me for years. Michael looked down at the floor. After a moment, he admitted everything. He said it was true. Then he looked at me again. His eyes were different this time. They looked softer and full of regret. He said he did not expect to care about me. He said his feelings had changed over time. He asked me for another chance. I stayed silent for a moment. Then I slowly closed the door. I heard him standing outside for a while. Then his footsteps slowly faded away. That was the end of that chapter of my life. I started a new beginning. I decided to open a small cafe. It was not big or fancy. but it was something I could call my own. I worked very hard every day. I made coffee, baked cakes, served customers, and cleaned everything myself. The work was tiring, but it made me happy. I felt alive again. People started visiting my cafe. They liked the food, the coffee, and the atmosphere. They also liked me. I started making real friends, people who cared about me. Slowly, I began to smile again. I began to laugh again. I was finally free from the past. Sometimes I thought about Michael. His words stayed in my mind. I wondered if he really meant what he said, but I chose not to go back. My life was moving forward now. Then one morning, something unexpected happened. Michael came to my cafe. He looked very different. He was not wearing expensive clothes. He looked simple and tired. There was no pride in his face. There was humility. He called my name softly and asked if we could talk. I hesitated for a moment, but then I agreed. We sat at a table together. There was silence between us at first. Then he spoke. He told me something surprising. He said he had left his job. He was no longer a CEO. I could not believe it. I asked him why he made such a decision. He said he wanted to change. He said he wanted to become a better person. He admitted that he was wrong in the past. He said he was truly sorry. Then he asked me something unexpected. He asked if he could work in my cafe. I was confused. I did not know what to say. He explained that he did not want to buy my love with money anymore. He wanted to earn my trust through his actions. He asked me to give him a chance to prove himself. I thought about everything carefully. I remembered the pain, the loneliness, and the truth I had discovered. But I also saw something different in him, something real. After a long pause, I agreed. But I made one thing clear. I told him I was not making any promises. He accepted that without hesitation. The next day, Michael started working in my cafe. At first, he was very bad at everything. He broke plates, spilled coffee, and made many mistakes. But he did not complain. He did not give up. He came every day and tried again. He worked hard like a normal person. He cleaned tables, washed dishes, and helped in the kitchen. Slowly, he began to improve. He became more careful, more patient, and more focused. Every day, he apologized. Not just with words, but with his actions. Customers started noticing him. They liked his polite behavior and kind attitude. I watched him closely. I saw his change. It was not fast, but it was real. Months passed, and Michael continued working in the cafe every single day without missing a day, no matter the weather or how tired he felt. And his dedication slowly became something I could not ignore. We started talking more often. At first, our conversations were simple and short. We talked about customers, coffee, and daily work. Over time, our talks became deeper. We spoke about life, mistakes, dreams, and the past. One day, Michael told me something important. He said that even when he had money and power, he felt empty inside. He said he was lonely, just like I had been. He realized too late that his life had no real meaning. He admitted that the contract controlled his life, but he also accepted that he made my life a prison because of it. He said he was truly sorry for everything he had done. Forgiving him was not easy for me, The pain of 7 years was still inside me, but I could see the change in him clearly. It was not fake. It was real and steady. He was there every morning when the cafe opened. He was there every night when it closed. He never left, not even for one day. One evening, after we finished cleaning, the cafe was quiet and empty. It was just the two of us. Michael stopped working and looked at me seriously. He said my name in a soft voice. He told me he needed to say something important. I stood still and listened. He said he loved me. He said it was real this time. He said it was not because of a contract or business. He said he loved the person I had become. He loved my strength, my courage, and my independence. He said he knew he did not deserve me, but he still wanted a chance. He wanted to build new memories with me. Tears filled my eyes. I had waited years to hear those words, but now they felt different. They felt true. I told him I could not forget the past. I could not erase those 7 years. He said he understood. He did not ask me to forget. He only asked for a chance to earn my forgiveness completely. I looked at him for a long moment. I saw honesty in his eyes. I saw a man who had truly changed. Slowly, I said that I forgave him. My voice was soft, but my words were real. Michael's eyes filled with tears. It was the first time I had ever seen him cry. He asked me if we could start again. He said he wanted a real relationship with no lies, no contracts, and no conditions. I nodded my head and said, we could try. That moment became a new beginning for both of us. From that day, we worked together not just as coworkers, but as partners in life. We supported each other and built something real together. The cafe became more successful with time. More customers came every day. But more important than success, we became closer. We learned to understand each other better. We learned to trust again. Life was not always easy. Some days were difficult. Memories of the past sometimes returned and caused pain. But this time, Michael stayed. He did not run away. He faced everything with me. 1 year later, our lives had completely changed. We had built a simple but happy life together. One day, Michael asked me something very special. He asked me to marry him again. This time, it was not for business or a contract. This time, it was for love. I said yes immediately. We had a small wedding in our cafe. It was simple but beautiful. Only close friends were there. Michael's mother was there too. She was very emotional and happy. We made real promises to each other. We promised to love, respect, and support each other every day. We promised to always choose each other. After the ceremony, we celebrated together. There was laughter, music, and happiness. Later that night, we stood by the window, holding hands. Michael said something I will never forget. He said those 7 painful years were not completely wasted. He said they helped us understand the value of real love. I agreed with him. The pain had a purpose. It made us stronger and wiser. Now I am 29 years old. I have a small cafe. I have a peaceful life. And I have a husband who truly loves me. He chooses me every day. Our life is simple, but it is real. I finally understand what love truly means. Love is not about money, power, or status. Love is about staying, trying, changing, and growing together. Our story started with pain, but it did not end there. It became something beautiful. It became something real. This is my story, our story, a story of pain, change, forgiveness, and second chances.